We're here on Watts Bar Lake in Tennessee at our annual Kabul, Afghanistan reunion. And I want to talk to you some more about the theory of police dynamics and how it applies to organizational theory and management. Now, in the last video, we compared police dynamics to some of the physical laws of the universe. We talked about the law of gravity. We talked about the law of linear motion, Newton's first law. Today, I want to talk about two other laws, physical laws of the universe, the first and second laws of thermodynamics. Interesting words since we're talking about police dynamics. It has to do with power and the exchange of energy. Now, the first law of thermodynamics is also known as the law of conservation of matter and energy. And it essentially says, out of all the matter and all the energy in the universe, nothing else is being created, nothing is being destroyed. It might change from one form to the other, but whatever is here is here. Nothing else is being created, no matter, no energy is being destroyed. The second law of thermodynamics says that although no matter and energy is being created nor destroyed, it does change forms, and every time it changes forms, it loses a little bit of its energy. It loses a little bit of its organization. It's also known as the law of entropy. Entropy is a measure of the amount of disorganization that's in any type of a system. For example, if I had a jar full of marbles, let's say, and I had all the marbles separated in layers by color, we would say that was a highly organized jar of marbles. But if I took it and shook it all up and it became jumbled, we would now say that that jar has a higher degree of entropy. It has a higher degree of disorganization. And for me to put those marbles back in order, I'm going to have to invest some energy. I'm going to have to invest some time to pull those marbles out individually and reorganize them. It's also known as the law of decay. So the whole universe, really and truly, is in bondage to decay. Everything is falling apart. Everything is winding down in the universe. This is what the second law of thermodynamics is all about. And in order to slow that process down, or to reverse the process, even if it's for the short term, we have to apply energy. We have to apply work. It's the same way with our vehicles. If we don't change the oil in our cars, if we don't rotate the tires, if we don't take the preventive maintenance, the vehicle won't last nearly as long. Our bodies are the same way. Our bodies are in bondage to decay. So we know if I don't take good care of myself, if I'm not getting good exercise and proper nutrition, my body will tend to wear out quicker than if I was to take good care of it. Our organizations are the same way. Our agencies function much the same way. If we don't apply energy and organization to it, they tend to devolve into chaos. They tend to get more and more disordered as time goes on. So what leaders have to do, we have to be the ones that are applying that energy. It's interesting that we call an agency, we also call it an organization, any type of a company. So we have to organize, we have to structure, we have to build the various forms and structures within the organization so that it functions well, it functions efficiently, and we're counteracting its tendency to fall into disorder and chaos. Same thing would be true if we were working in a detention or a correctional facility. If we're not there providing the structure, they tend to fall apart, they tend to deteriorate, they tend to get very disorderly, out of control, chaotic, and very, very dangerous. Communities are the same way. If we're not applying energy coactively into our communities, they tend to fall into disorder and to decay. So the role of leadership is about investing that energy, applying the organizational structure into our agencies, into our communities, into our facilities, so that we can counteract, at least on the short term, the second law of thermodynamics, where everything tends toward disorder and decay. It's what the E to the fifth power leadership is all about. It's about setting those standards and embracing those standards and encouraging the standards and enforcing the standards and embodying the standards so that we bring that organizational structure into our agencies, into our departments, into our offices, ultimately into our communities. It is the role of leadership. It means we've got to invest time, we've got to invest energy, and there will be resistance. We've got to overcome the resistance. I love what Jack Enter says. He says that leadership is the path of most resistance, because we know that following the path of least resistance makes men and rivers crooked. This is Sheriff Ray Nash with Police Dynamics Media.